Nobody in that crowd knew they were about to help launch nearly 200 years of war. In November 1095, in Clermont, France, Pope Urban II stood before nobles, knights, and church leaders and made a promise that would reshape medieval history. Christians in the East, he said, needed help. Jerusalem, the holiest city in Christianity, was under Muslim rule, and anyone who joined the campaign would receive spiritual reward. The response exploded across Europe. Within months, thousands were moving east. Nobles sold land. Knights gathered banners. Farmers, merchants, and ordinary families joined the roads. Some saw faith, some saw opportunity, some simply followed the crowd. The first waves were chaotic. Poorly equipped groups marched ahead and collapsed long before reaching their destination. Then came the organized forces the army's history would remember as the First Crusade. Crossing into Byzantine territory, they entered a world most had never imagined. Massive cities, wealth, political tension. The Byzantine Empire wanted help, but not new rulers. The Crusaders kept moving. They fought through Anatolia, endured hunger, disease, and brutal sieges, and in 1099 reached Jerusalem. What followed became one of the defining moments of the era. After weeks of siege, the city fell. The victory stunned Europe. Across the eastern Mediterranean, new Crusader states appeared, castles rose, trade expanded. For a moment, it looked like the impossible had worked, but holding territory turned out to be harder than conquering it. The Muslim world was divided at first, but over time, leaders began organizing resistance. Then came the turning point. In 1144, the Crusader-held city of Edessa fell. Europe responded with the Second Crusade. Kings joined this time. Expectations were enormous. The results were disastrous. Poor coordination, long supply lines, and failed campaigns turned the crusade into humiliation. The image of unstoppable holy war began to crack. Then history produced one of its most famous figures, Saladin. Patient, strategic, and politically skilled, he united major Muslim territories and challenged Crusader power directly. In 1187, at the Battle of Hattin, Crusader forces were destroyed. Soon after, Jerusalem was lost. Europe reacted immediately. The Third Crusade became legendary. Its leaders included Richard the Lionheart of England, along with some of Europe's most powerful rulers. This crusade produced famous battles, daring marches, and political rivalry, but not the victory many expected. Richard won military successes. Jerusalem remained out of reach. A negotiated settlement allowed access for pilgrims, and the war ended without reclaiming the city. Then came the crusade that changed everything. The Fourth Crusade was supposed to go to the Middle East. It never made it. Debt, politics, and shifting alliances redirected the army toward Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. In 1204, Crusaders attacked and looted one of Christianity's greatest cities. The event shocked the medieval world. The movement that began to defend Christian lands had turned against fellow Christians. After that, the idea of crusading continued, but the momentum changed. Later, crusades targeted Egypt. Some focused elsewhere entirely. New campaigns launched. Most failed. Meanwhile, local powers adapted, trade evolved, and enthusiasm slowly faded. By 1291, the final major Crusader stronghold at Acre fell. The Crusader states were gone, but the Crusades did not disappear with them. They transformed trade routes, changed relations between Europe and the Middle East, strengthened some rulers and weakened others, expanded contact between cultures, and left behind stories powerful enough that centuries later people still argue over what the Crusades meant. They began as a mission to reclaim a city. They became one of the longest, most complicated struggles of the medieval world.